We've come a long, long way together, through the hard times and the good. I have to celebrate you, baby. I have to praise you.
Welcome to the Great British Summer. Now this is going to be a super selfish video to make because it's actually my birthday today, or it will be the day this gets posted. And for my birthday, I'm hosting a summer barbecue in my garden. So it is finally time to get the garden ready, and even though if you're in the UK and watching this video, summer's probably been and gone already, I decided to reach out to some cool brands to help make my garden and my birthday barbecue a really fun, tech-filled one this year. And one of those purchases actually really caught me off guard, and I think might actually be one of my favourite tech products of like literally the entire year. But firstly, huge thank you to Husqvarna for sponsoring this video. Without them, this video would literally not have been possible. Secondly, comment happy birthday down below and subscribe. It'll be awesome to see that, and I will respond as soon as I can because today I'm literally going to be spending a day with my family, my friends, and enjoying everything you're about to see in this video. Now, 8 years ago, I actually bought a Flymo robotic lawnmower, who Husqvarna actually owns, and it's probably been one of the biggest time-saving purchases that I have ever made. Now, the hours I would have spent mowing the lawn instead of spending time with family and kids, and in fact, my parents also bought one after I showed mine to them, and they've never looked back either. So since the first step in getting my garden, barbecue ready, is making sure that my grass, my lawn, whatever you want to call it, is looking its best. So this was a great opportunity for me to upgrade and check out what the latest and greatest mower tech is capable of, because I have had a few issues at times with the old Flymo mower. Now, I'm sure we've seen videos about these already. There's no need to go over what's already been said and what it does. It's a lawnmower and it cuts your grass. Cool. Now, this model is the latest 410XE Automower from Husqvarna, and it fixes quite a few of those issues that I had. Now, firstly, it requires no boundary wire to be laid around the edges of your garden, although it does support a boundary wire if you want to use that still, but it also uses something they call EPOS, Exact Positioning Operating System, I think it's called, which basically uses a combination of GPS and radio from a separate transmitter to navigate around, and with precision that you can adjust in as little as 1 centimeter increments to really get to the edges of your garden. Now, on my old one, and no matter how hard I tried, I'd always end up with wire breaking or just disintegrating in the ground over time, and then I have to somehow find and repair where that break was. So this was a huge breath of fresh air in this mower. Now, you just drive the mower around the edges with your phone and drop these virtual pins to mark the boundaries of your garden. And you can also add things like exclusion zones for any flower beds or just areas you don't want it to go. And if you do have multiple lawns, if you're lucky enough to have multiple lawns, maybe a front, a back, as long as there's a route for the mower to go, you can then program and draw in those paths that the mower can then travel to get and cut multiple lawns. Pretty cool. Oh, and of course, speaking of which, this mower is massively overkill for what I need. It cuts up to, I think it's 1,000 square meters. I think I have about 50. So yeah, massively overkill. But if you are buying one for yourself, then these do come in at various sizes and different price points, from tiny gardens to literal multiple football field sizes, so you can pretty much scale this to whatever you need. Now, secondly, the other problem I had before was that the mower couldn't quite get to the very edges of my lawn. The 410XE has a feature called Edge Cut, where there's actually a second set of blades on the very back of the mower, so when the mower turns around, those blades then spin up and it's able to reach those very edges, which just means that I'm less likely to need this. I used to have a separate strimmer to get to those edges. Now, thirdly, my old mower worked by just driving in a straight line until it either reached the boundary wire or it just bumped into something, for it to then turn around, drive off in a random different direction. And if you left anything on the grass, my kids would literally leave all sorts of things out there after playing in the garden, then something like a watering can either become an object that the mower would bounce off of because it's heavy and filled with water, or if it was light, just get pushed and bounced around the garden and probably run over at some points. Now again, this new model has object avoidance, so it will actually drive around objects and continue on its path. Now from my experience, it's not perfect, and I'd definitely still be making sure any like small tennis balls or anything are removed from the lawn before mowing. But the main thing here is that it avoids the object rather than bumping into it and scratching up both, the object and the mower itself. And it's not on this model, but other Husqvarna models can actually cut those really nice looking like lawn stripes into your lawn if you're really after that look. So since there is no need for a boundary wire, this is super easy to install. Now at the very basic level, it's just a case of setting up the charging station, plugging in the EPOS system, plugging it all into the wall, and away you go. Now one thing I will say here though, is that Husqvarna actually sent out one of their local dealers to do the install for us, like super nice because I didn't have to do anything. And they have done the neatest job that I have ever seen in terms of like wiring. Like genuinely, I wish I had time to make it look this like neat and tidy. James from Casters of Swanwick, fantastic job. He was also going to pop back to visit in a couple of weeks' time just to make sure the install's going well and there's no problem. So yeah, really appreciate that. And then lastly, the thing my old mower was missing was any form of smart features. Like, yeah, it had an app, but it was a pretty horrible app. But the Husqvarna mower has a ton more features and integration with things like smart home tools like If This Then That, and my favorite, Home Assistant integration. With the app, you can set the boundaries, you can even change the cutting height, the schedule that it cuts by. Oh, and it even has this spiral cut feature, which is where the mower detects like a longer patch of grass. So it'll actually spin in a circle, getting wider and wider each time as I think it's like a more efficient way of cutting through thicker patches of grass. And it left the lawn looking pretty damn good. And then the smart home integration features means that I can have visibility of everything within Home Assistant and even control things like if it's looking, likely to rain or a storm, I can automatically pause the schedule until it passes. Now, honestly, this is actually a really nice feature to have, since previously my mower would go out in all conditions every single day and just end up churning up the grass and turning what was a really nicely mowed lawn into just this like pool of mud, and it was really frustrating. And actually, with something like Home Assistant, I can probably even install something like a soil dampness monitor thing. That must be a thing, surely. So it then keeps the mower paused, even if it's not currently raining, but there's still like puddles of water in the garden. Like, absolutely love that kind of stuff and all kind of automation stuff you can do with it. Oh, and just to round off here, I know some people will ask about what happens to the grass cuttings because there's obviously nothing on here to collect the grass cuttings. And generally speaking, this mower is out cutting every day, so only like the tiniest blades of grass get cut to a point that you just don't notice it. And actually, it goes back into the grass and helps give you a much healthier lawn overall. Now, it's just that right now, for the purpose of this video, I actually let the grass grow a little longer, so it's easier to do the initial setup to see which areas I need to, move in and out to cut it better. Oh, and by the way, there will be links to everything in this video down below. So if you do want to take a look at anything you see in this video, clicking on those links will help support the channel and help us to create more fun tech videos like this one. So, step 1, done. Step 2 in planning my awesome, fun, techie barbecue birthday is very important, food. And whilst I can cook a mean burger on my charcoal barbecue, I wanted to see if there was any cool, smart barbecue tech that I could check out. And damn did Weber come through with this one. Now, they sent out the Spirit 325S Smart Grill, which is one of their most popular models. And not only did they send out the barbecue, but along with it came Shane, the grill master, who showed us how to cook an incredible meal of steak, prawns, new potatoes and asparagus, all using the grill and its smart features. Now, honestly, this was such a cool experience, and I'm totally humbled that we get to do this as part of our job now. Now, in terms of the grill itself, it's pretty standard. It's got 3 burners, it's got a sear zone for really getting those steaks kind of cooked to perfection. It also has interchangeable grills, which you can swap out for cooking things like chicken on a rotisserie, hot plates for frying eggs or cooking pizza, and with a really simple and easy to clean tray system for all of the mess and juices that obviously inevitably comes with cooking lots of juicy meat on a barbecue. Now, the smart features though, I really love. Now, on the right is this panel which displays the current temperature of the grill with 2 inputs for additional meat probes. Now, the grill itself then connects to your home Wi-Fi. Yes, my barbecue grill joined my home Wi-Fi. Crazy. And via the app, I can then see everything that's going on my barbecue. You can set up alerts for when the grill goes up to temperature. You can see the temperature of the meat probes when you're cooking, bigger slabs of meats. And the thing that I really loved about like Weber's app is that it actually has a load of recipes in them, which you can then use as much or kind of as little as you like. The Grill Master took us through one that cooked this steak to medium rare perfection, and it tells you when to do everything, when to flip the steak, when to let it cool down, and basically just results in you getting much, much better food with your cooking than without the app and without the guidance. And without you actually needing to be stood next to the grill at all times, constantly checking the food and opening and closing the kind of lid on it. Now, we actually hosted a family barbecue the very next day, and although I didn't follow the recipes, I was able to use them for burgers, for sausages, for chicken, and I just used the temperature and the timer guides to just more accurately cook food without over or undercooking anything. But also, it let me spend more time chatting with people without worrying about, again, having to constantly dash back and forth, opening the grill and just checking on the food. In fact, I was actually in the kitchen chatting to someone when my phone beeped to say it was time to flip the burgers. And now we have a gas barbecue over our old charcoal barbecue. It's way more convenient to fire up at short notice without having to wait ages to light the coals, then wait for them to heat up, then only have a small window to cook in before they cool down too much. It's just so much more convenient. So that's the two main things taken care of. Next up is entertainment, and I have a few things for you here. Now, first for music, I've always used either some old Sonos Play One speakers or very small, like portable Bluetooth speakers to play some background music, but none of them sounded great, like especially since the Sonos, I think it's called, speakers were usually plugged inside the house and then pointed out of a window so we can try and hear it. So I finally decided to pick up a Sonos Move 2, which is an awesome portable speaker. Battery life has been incredible. I think it's rated for like 24 hours battery life. We literally left it outside all day playing music without running out. Sound quality is actually crazy with its I'm assuming it's got this omnidirectional speakers in it. I placed it all around the garden and it just sounded great, even from a distance, no matter where it was. Even if you were technically stood behind it, we were all really super impressed with the quality of the audio. It's also IP56 water resistant, so no issues if it rains, or you forget and leave it outside in the rain, or have a water fight. And it has a conveniently tiny little charging dock when you want to charge it back up again. Now, I actually thought I would have a problem with the Move 2 and would have to return it. My garden struggles with Wi-Fi at the best of times. But somehow, and I don't quite know how, I was able to play a Spotify playlist via the Sonos app, and even when I moved the speaker to the very far edge of the garden, it continued playing all day long and without interruption, even though it wasn't connected to Bluetooth, which is another feature you can use it for if you literally have zero Wi-Fi. So that was really great. We're actually about to have a fair bit of work done to the back of our garden, and I'm going to probably buy a second speaker so we can pair these up and stereo pair them and put them across the back to the hot tub seating area and barbecue, just to cover everything. It's going to be awesomely expensive, but still very awesome. And even though it's obviously a more expensive speaker than the cheaper portable Bluetooth speakers, the sound quality is just a whole level up. And actually, literally the next day after I bought the one from Sonos Store online, they discounted these by 25%. So I called them up and they immediately offered to refund the difference. So that was really good of them. Sometimes you get forced to do the whole return it and then buy it again at the discounted price, which sometimes you can't just be bothered to do. But this was a decent chunky discount, so yeah, really happy with this purchase. Now, next up, this is the one that genuinely I think might be one of the best tech purchases of the entire year. Now, they're the Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses, and I've been avoiding these for so long and keep just telling myself, Pete, you don't need them. Don't buy them, Pete. You already have sunglasses. You don't need another pair. Until I eventually caved, literally a month ago or so, and I bought them. And damn, are they good. From here in the UK, we don't get access to a lot of tech products, but seeing reviews of tech like the Rabbit R1, the Humane AI Pin, who both focus on you not having the phone, in your hands, the Meta glasses genuinely have blown me away. Now, they're a regular pair of sunglasses with a built-in camera and built-in speakers. So they hook up to your phone via Bluetooth, and what they open up to you is just incredible. You can be walking along and see something just interesting and just say, "Hey Meta, take a photo," or "Hey Meta, record a video," and it does it totally hands-free. Now, you can also tap and hold the button on the glasses to kind of take a photo and record if you want to do that. "Hey Meta, take a photo." "Hey Meta, record a video." Now, if you have kids, It means you can take photos without having to rush to, try and get your phone out of your pockets. It's just super, super convenient. And for those worried about privacy, they do address this, or they try to address this, by having this LED that's always visible on the glasses. And if you try and cover it up, then the glasses don't work. Though it is an interesting question still, because it's easy to just tap a button and snap a quick photo without it being more obvious, like when holding a phone up to take a photo, so people around you might not realise that you're taking a photo or video, but just by tapping your glasses. Now, those built-in speakers means you can listen to music or a podcast without needing headphones in, and they are also really, really damn good speakers. Very, very impressed with how good those speakers are. Now, you also have a touch bar on the side, which you can tap to pause and play, and you can swipe it to increase or decrease the volume. And then you've got the Meta View app, which you can hook the glasses up to your WhatsApp, your phone, Messenger, and even Instagram. So as I'm walking along, the glasses can now read out my messages to me without taking a phone out of my pockets. But this actually kind of hit me recently when I was walking home, how awesome these glasses are, and the future possibility on them getting better and better in time. And it was when I received a WhatsApp from my wife to ask me what time I'd be home. Now, the glasses read the message out to me, so no need to take my phone out of my pocket or even glance at my watch to read the message on my watch. And because this is hooked up to WhatsApp, all I had to do was say, "Hey Meta, take a photo and send it to my wife on WhatsApp," and it literally just did it, so she could see where I was and how I was just down the road from our house. All of that totally hands-free, no need to get my kind of phone or anything from my pocket, just mind absolutely blown. Now, there is also an update that I believe is coming soon to the UK. Apparently the US has it already, where it can do most of the features we've seen from the Humane AI pin, Rabbit R1, such as look at this and tell me what it is, where it will actually use the camera and AI in the glasses to analyze and describe what you're then seeing. So you could ask it questions about maybe a dying plant and ask how to save it, and just so much more. It's basically having a ChatGPT voice assistant connecting to your phone, but it's always on and in a pair of glasses that you're obviously mostly wearing outside, unless you get the transparent lenses, which you can wear then inside. Now, genuinely, really, really excited both about what these glasses are capable of now and what they could actually be capable of in the near future. So, all in all, huge thank you to Husqvarna for sponsoring this video. Thank you to Weber for an amazing barbecue experience, and Spira for keeping me and all the kids entertained for the day. Now, I'd love to know which gadget you found the most interesting in this video. Do let me know down in the comments down below. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, bye-bye.